Taiwan's presidential election has been described as a choice between war and peace, with growing concerns China could invade the self-governing island, which it considers its own territory. That looming threat, both the biggest source of tension between the U.S. and China and the key issue at the center of this vote.
The election here has become a very tight race, and the outcome will reach far beyond Taiwan.
William Lai with the ruling Democratic People's Party says he's ready to defy China.
We have to win because we have to protect democracy.
China sees Lai as favoring independence. Chinese military officials vowing today to smash any attempt at that. Polls show Lai neck and neck with Ho Yui of the Kuomintang Party, which is open to dialogue with the mainland. We can never ignore their existence, Ho says of China. Misunderstandings will lead to conflict. China makes no secret of its intentions when it comes to Taiwan. Xi Jinping in a New Year's speech saying reunification is inevitable. For years, China has increased surveillance, fighter jets, even missiles around the island. It's also ramping up disinformation, including messaging to sow doubt about U.S. help.
The message is that there will be no knight in shining armor to save you when things really go down.
The third candidate, Ko Wen-je, wants stronger ties to China and the U.S. Finding a balance between the two, he says. This is the toughest job for the Taiwanese president. A crucial vote for Taiwan, with the U.S. and China looming over it. Janis, Mackey, Frayer, NBC News, Taipei.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.